that was ugly. That was extremely ugly. Still a fan, still love my team, but that was ugly. So tonight, I know I did the pregame last night. I know Mike did a video, but I could not go. We normally have the show on Wednesday nights, and I could not, in good conscience, not have a show tonight because I wanted to give you guys a place to decompress, a place to discuss your displeasure, discuss your concerns and your issues. Like, that's why I'm here tonight. I'm here as more of a therapy session. This is going to be your therapy session. Let it out, BBN. Join me. Let's talk about it. Oh, I really want to hear your concerns. I want to hear your opinions. This is, it was such a letdown after a 5 game winning streak. Yes, it was Vanderbilt who was undefeated until those 3 losses. Um, like I said, I'm here for you guys. So let it out. Let it all out, BBN. This is your therapy session. Let's talk. Join me. Let's talk about this for about 30 minutes, 45 minutes. Isn't that what a therapist does? They charge you for an hour and you get like really 45 or 50 minutes. So join me. Let's talk. I'll be here. I'll give it a little bit to see if anyone joins tonight. I know no one's expecting a show tonight. We'll get back to like the regular Wednesday night shows. As long as there's not a game on a Wednesday, I will continue to do these shows on Wednesday night. So so as if the game's on Tuesday, I will be here on Wednesday so we can discuss the game. That was too bad to even like stick around to talk about last night. I think everybody was just kind of like I was speechless. I turned off the game. I'm not gonna lie. I still love my cats. I'll still be here for us, but I turned the game off. I just couldn't watch it anymore. I'm just glad that we didn't lose by 40 points, 20 in the first half, 20 in the second half. And I don't know, guys. I Pam Williams is a huge part of our offense and our defense. I don't care what anybody says. Him being out was missed. Like Pam Williams, he's defensive player. He gets down the court. Oh my gosh, Larry. Welcome to the show. I hope so too. I hope we can go to Arkansas. I hope we can beat Calipari. I really do. What's up, Peanut? It's good to see you, my friend. I haven't seen you in a little bit. Good to see you here. But guys, it was horrible. But yes, I want to hear what y'all have to say. Elway is the biggest disappointment of the season. I thought we'd be unstoppable last season when he said he was staying. Sandy, I get it, but one guy can't do everything. He's trying to take this team on and he's made some good plays and he's really tried to bring it, but he can't do it by himself. Pope's not fit to be here as the coach. Dougie, and a lot of people are saying that, but there's one thing I want to say. We will torch Vandy at Rupp. Ryan, I sure hope so. But let me just say this, guys. In the past, okay, you all know that we are plagued by injuries. We always are. Kentucky is always plagued by injuries every single year. Let me just put this into perspective. Last year, we had 4 guys that were injured. We had Lamont Butler, Kirk Risa, Jackson Robinson, and Andrew Carr. This year, we have had 8 players injured. 8, guys. I mean, you can't put it all on the coach. The players are the ones on the floor. But we've had 8 guys injured. And you're right, Chris. We couldn't buy a shot and they couldn't they made everything. Hope Danny, I thought when I saw him, against Missouri get fired up, I thought it would be different. JQ, I don't know. Nobody knows, Larry. I'm hoping they're getting the issues with his knee swelling down. Chris says I turned it off within 10 minutes. It was a stinker. Everybody has them nowadays. That's right, Peanut. But you know what? That was one. Next. We that I'm not saying we're out. We're not down and out. And you're right, Sandy. Pope isn't the one throwing the air balls, missing layups, missing free throws. Pope's not the one out there missing those shots. You can blame the coach. You can say he's not fit to be here, but he's not the one on the floor. I'm not defending Pope. Do I think that there's some times he can make some better judgment calls? Like if somebody's starting to get hot, leave them in, stop taking them out after 2 minutes. How can you get into a rhythm if you're in the game for a minute and a half and then you get pulled out? I mean, for real, for real. Peanut says there aren't many teams the last 5 years or so that don't get blown out a few times a year. Playing kids is going to lead to complacency. Exactly. I mean, it's going to happen. Kentucky till I die. I hope we have some dead players when they get together, but I hope they can beat Arkansas. Yes, I get it. I understand what you're saying. I would love to beat it. And yes, Z Man, that gym is hard to play in. It is a very hostile environment. And with the coaches and the teams being at the end of the floor instead of on the sidelines, I think the communication is really hard there. Um, I think it's an issue. Uh, I do too, Kentucky till I die. But I think that's an issue too. When you've got the coach and the team down at the end of the floor, it's not like the sidelines where you're back and forth. They're all the way down here. You guys are all the way down here. It's really hard to coach that. One player playing me ball, and that was Aberdeen. He drove the basket, could have passed it out. Noah was open several times. I agree. I agree. There were too many times where the ball was taken. Cam Williams won't be back, Larry. Um, Justin Reed. Thank you, Justin. What's up, man? Thank you. Yes, I had my my Wildcat hoodie. I love that. Yes, guys, please smash the like button. If you haven't subscribed, please subscribe to the channel. But yes, this is one of those shows where feel free to say whatever you want. This is something that we need after a game like that. Um, we need to make sure that we are voicing our opinions and get it out because we need to let it out before the next game. Amy, what's up? Despise playing at Vandy. Me too. That is one of the hardest places to play. Um, it's going to be difficult anywhere. Christopher says, "Hi, Miss Lee. Modi was a hustler on the ground. There was fouling him like crazy. I think the refs missed a lot of calls. People were getting fouled too. There was a lot of home cooking going on there. There really was. I mean, but you can't blame the refs too. They're not the ones out there shooting the balls. We all hate that arena. They acted like they gave up towards the end. I hate to say it. You know what? We're all feeling like that though, Travis. That's why this is your all's therapy session for today. We all felt like that. Wouldn't be surprised if we beat them by 20 when they come to Lex, just the way college basketball is. Yes, we could turn it around and we could end up beating them by 20. I'm not saying it's not going to happen. I'm not saying it is. But in the Rupp Arena, people feel like we felt at Vanderbilt. They hate coming to Rupp because the Big Blue Nation is so powerful. They hate coming there. It's a hostile environment. UK basketball needs to practice more. Free throws. I think everybody should shoot 1,000 free throws every practice. I don't care. I just think it should be either 500 or 1,000 because our free throw shooting is crap, Danny. You are correct. It is crap. Kentucky till I die says when we are down 18 points and come back, string wins and get blown out. Hope that blowout was needed for Arkansas. It might have been the wake up call that we need. It might have. Amy, you are so correct. We never get home cooking it rough because it's usually Doug Shows or that other dude. I can't think of his name that we don't like. But yeah, I mean, it's just that's the way it happens. You can't. There were several bad calls, Chris. You're right, but the refs aren't the ones out there playing ball. Yes, they make some really crap calls. They missed a lot intentionally, I believe. Um, Offensive rebounds, Sandy, you are not lying. Last night we were the worst at offensive rebounds. Some games we do better than others, but last night, bleh. David says, I told you last night if we didn't get 18 to 20 assists, we lose 85% from the line. You were right. And I totally agreed with you last night, and that's just the way it went. we've been down and, first round, Dougie, we could get beat in the first round. We had literally 8 assist guys. That is not good. They need to shoot their threes more in practice. Like there's so many things. Free throws win games. They need to practice them. They need to. Justin, that Mizzou game, it was a great experience. We lost, but it was a great experience because that was kind of a once in a lifetime things for me. The only teams immune from a blowout are Arizona and Michigan. Iowa State, Purdue, Gonzaga, all been blown out. Arkansas blown out by Bruce Pearl's son. Yes. I mean, anything can happen, guys. We know this. We know that anything can happen. But like I said, I want to know what you're upset about. I want to know what, this is a place for you to just say what you want to say. Z Man, we're all ready for a hog roast, and I like barbecued ribs. Ronald, you were right. Yeah, I know. I was sitting here going, "Are you sure?" And you were right. But guys, we stunk. Let's just say it how it is. We stunk. Jake, you're right. It's not an excuse. I'm not using it as an excuse. I'm just saying it is a hostile environment to play in, but something's got to happen. We've got to gel. The guys need to find whatever they had the last 5 games that we had our streak, and they need to get back to it. Am I still frozen, Peanut? Has everyone saw the video of the players saying money? It shows what their mentality is. Yes, Dougie, I've seen it. I've seen that video. When Owe walked out, bounds with the ball, seriously. Yeah, you know, when Owe threw it back to Chandler and Chandler was out about and he was still out about, that's crazy. David says our wins, we average 20 assists, and our losses, we can't get double digit assists. Meatball loses games. It does. It does. It literally loses ball games, guys. You can't play me ball. That's not gonna win anything. I hope we get some. I hope our talent is lacking the fight in their hearts. Danny, you are correct. We got payback coming for Calipari. I hope. Chris, we all hope. We all do. And just guys, I'll tell you, our team is not consistent. We are just not consistent. But if you want something that is consistent, you can message or call Color Creators at 859-270-9488 for any and all of your painting, staining, and pressure washing needs. They take the pain out of painting. They are consistent. Good work every time. Very reputable company. So give Chris a call. Color Creators, 859-270-9488, and he gives free estimates. But guys, we got to do something. If we don't play as a team, it's never going to happen. It's just not. And we've had those games where it has been me ball. Like I can understand beginning of the year when they were just starting to gel, but when we finally feel like we have an identity in the 5-game winning streak that we had, and then to find out and then to see the guys play like they did last night, like so lackluster, so complacent. It was upsetting. It really, really was upsetting. The only way this team can gel is if Pope removes the bad apple from the basket. Until then, the role will get deeper. Yeah, I agree, David. 100%. Travis, they did look kind of lost out there. Like a few times when I was watching the game, they did look kind of lost. Um, I just if you don't want to play, sit the ball, sit down. Dougie, you're right. If you don't want to play, why are you here? But I like when Pope was sitting people when they weren't playing well. But I don't agree with sitting someone when they've only been in the game for 1 minute. You've been in the game for 1 minute and he's taking you out. How can you build a rhythm? How can you get better? I just don't think that that's going to happen. Peanut says, I honestly think the game plan was to try to run and shoot with him. Yeah, we couldn't. We couldn't keep up. They were more physical. And I'm gonna say it. Chandler Bing, what a name. Like all I kept thinking was friends. Chandler Bing. That's all I could hear in my head was see the guy from Friends. We played as a team last season. They're only giving their heart and soul to UK tradition. Name is Pope. The players aren't. I agree. I agree with you. It does not feel like we are playing as a team. Like what happened? What happened between the 5 games that we had and now? No effort, no hustle. Definitely didn't look prepared. Definitely not. Tom Petty says saying touch money says it all. It does. I mean, it's like, is that where their heads are? Are they just more concerned with the money they're getting paid than doing a good job? I don't know anybody else that would be able to keep their job if they didn't do their job well. I mean, next year, you get offered this big lump sum of money, but you play like crap. Next year, do you get offered less? Do you get a dock in your pay? Aberdeen dribbled way too much last night. The shot clock, he made too many quick shots when we had time, but Aberdeen dribbled the ball way too much last night and dribbling right into people. I mean, share the ball. Noah was out there. Noah could have had that ball. Why didn't you why didn't you throw it out to Noah? How often do you put the Wildcat hoodie on? Dude, wear it all the time. I love that hoodie. I might wear it for the next show, and we'll see how that goes. Guys, please hit the like button if you will. I really appreciate all of you. Like I said, I came out here to for tonight for this show to be like a therapy session. I just want everybody to be able to express what they're feeling. Don't have faith with Pope and the team. Dougie, that's fair. Like I said, the team is the one playing the game. Pope's not on the floor. Do I think he makes some bad choices? Yes. Like taking people out when they haven't been in the game long enough. Dorman, it is the worst that we've seen in years. Big Mike is in the house. I'm glad you're here, Mike. I know you've got some things to say, I'm sure. Pope does have trouble, Mike. You're right. Sometimes it feels like he can't get him motivated. Maybe if he seemed a little bit more fight in him, maybe the team would have more fight. I just, he brought them in, he made those choices. You know, last 3 games in Nashville, losses by 35, 25, and 29. It's hard, guys. It's hard. But I'm sticking behind my team. I will never, 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 never turn against my team. I just got to hope that the next game's better than this one was. Don't blame Pope for the way the players are playing. He draws up the plays. It's up to them to execute. That's true. Many, many prayers going out to Cam Williams. We do have 5 games. Jimmy says, what's up, Jimmy? Jimmy's in the house. We have 5 hard games coming up: Arkansas, Oklahoma, Tennessee, Florida. Do you think we go 50-50 for the games? Jimmy, I would like to think so. But dang, those are hard. I mean, I've seen the way Oklahoma's been playing. Tennessee, I don't worry about. I think we can come back and beat Tennessee again. Florida, I actually think we might be able to beat them. I think there's a chance that we do go 50-50. Um, the goal is 30 likes, guys. Please do. Jimmy, I really do. I believe that the opportunity is there for the 50-50 ball. But without Cam Williams being on the team now, I think it's another obstacle we need to overcome. Um, I think that it's something that we need to figure out. Somebody needs to come in and step up. I don't know who's going to fill those shoes. I was really hoping Noah would do it. I think he had some good plays last night. NIL transfer portals destroy college sports. Been saying that since the start. Jimmy, good to see you in here, my friend. Good to see you. Starting to think Kentucky is cursed the amount of injuries. Steve, yes, like I said, we had 4 injuries last year. We've already had 8 different players injured this year, twice as many as last year. That is so hard to overcome. 8 players injured. Amy, true fan, always win or lose. Yes, me too. UK basketball hot Saturdays. Hope so. I hope they are hot on Saturday. We need quad 1 wins, but that's not happening. It's not at this time. I'm hoping it comes back. I really do. Um, Bench them if they aren't giving their all. Yeah, you're getting paid. Exactly right, Sandy. You're getting paid. It's a job. If I was working my job and I wasn't doing my job, they're either going to dock my pay, give me days off, or fire me. So it makes you wonder if we're going to get, a guy gets paid 2 million this year. If you play like crap, do you get offered 2 million next year? Or do they say, well, you really didn't give us much, so we're going to knock this down? You know what, Justin? I said whoever brought Annabelle to Lexington was a fool, and I wanted them strung up in court in the county square, the courthouse square, whatever. That was the dumbest thing ever. I have no idea how they cannot be motivated for this game, especially Owe Chandler and Garrison. Samo too. From what they got last year when they went in there to not be fired up for this game, like really think that was that. I mean, I don't understand it. I don't understand it. We need to bring Braden Hawthorne off the bench. He still had 3 years. Jimmy, I will 100% agree with you. I think it's time to stop leaving him as a red shirt. We need another player. We need somebody that can come in fresh. And Braden Hawthorne just might be the answer to that. Pope screwed up recruiting a player that's on an injured reserve. JQ is not impressive at all when he played. We overpaid for JQ. This team is still a few minutes from being 16-5, ranked in the top 15. Yeah, we're not. Jimmy, I do not think Cam will be back. A broken foot and having surgery. He's looking at 6 to 8 weeks probably of rehab. And I mean, I guess it depends on how bad the break was, but I really don't see him back. I wish he would be like by tournament time. Yes. I guess it just depends on how hard or how bad the break was and how extensive the surgery was. I believe Hawthorne will be a transfer after the season. Dougie, I'm not so sure about that. I actually believe that he'll stick around, but maybe not the way we're playing and the way things are going. Sandy, now, I think that's a great idea. And with JMI coming in, they're not gonna get they may not get all of their money at the beginning of the year, but I wish it would be based on performance. Maybe if they thought they would lose some of their money if they play like crap, they would stop playing like crap. We need some consistency. Injuries are killing us. Every time we get to where we think we're playing well, we turn around and we lose another player. So then somebody's got to step up and try to fill his spot, and they don't play the same. This guy that's coming in to try to fill the spot doesn't play the same as the person that's not in there anymore. That's an issue. You've got to find ways to get around that. Moreno did fight to get open and he didn't get the ball. Noah did the same thing. Who do I think is coming back? Oh my gosh. I do believe that David Cam will be back for the NIT. Whichever it is, man. I hate to think NIT. Ronald, I really think Hawthorne will be back. I really think Jasper Johnson will be back. I really think that Cam would be back. Jalen Lowe, if he doesn't, get drafted. Justin says if we paid based on performance, we wouldn't get any players. And that's fair. But I just, I turned that game off Walker Horn. Play Walker Horn. It can't be worse. Play Zach Toe. Can't be worse. I mean, give them a shot. But if you're going to bring guys into the game, Coach Pope, let them play more than a minute and a half. Nobody can get into a rhythm if you're only in the game for 90 seconds. Jimmy, I agree. I think Garrison might leave, but I'm not really sure about that. Malachi and Jasper to the NBA with JQ. I don't think I agree with that. I really don't. I don't think I agree with that. Yes, guys, don't forget to buy your merch. Loyal BB and Fan Show merch. There's a link. So if you want a shirt, a hat, a hoodie, things like that, please go visit the store and purchase some merch. And please make sure you click that like button and subscribe if you haven't. Um, We love you guys. Like I said, I came on here tonight to give you guys a voice because I know everybody was disgruntled and I know everybody was disappointed. So I just wanted to make sure that I gave you guys a place to say what you want to say with no judgments. We're just speaking truth. We're not bashing anybody. We're not coming down on anybody. The truth is the truth. Yes, we need to be more aggressive. Leave Jelly in so he can get warm and keep him on the floor. 502, I've said the same thing. Jelly can really, he's a good defensive player and he can really get into it, but he needs the time. I think he has shown a lot of improvement. There's not enough playing time. You can't, at least, yes, Amy, at least those guys play with hustle and effort, the ones that never get to play. Coaching can't fix the problem at UK, David says. Um, and I don't understand. The guys have to want it. Who on the team doesn't want it? And we've reached our goal. Thanks, guys, but you can still keep clicking like and we can have more. We can always go over a goal. Jasper Moreno will be back. Jimmy, yes, I agree with you. Guys, get your merchandise, like and subscribe. And Jelly needs more time. He really does. He really, really does. Because I think he's really, really been coming around. He's been doing so much better since he started. Since he's been starting, Jelly has been giving it everything he's got. He wants it. But why do some of these guys come out here and they're just kind of like do? I don't understand. And you're 20 points down and you're smiling. I know you're having fun, but don't be out there smiling. Dougie says only players Cam, Hawthorne, Jelly, Potter, rest need to leave. Noah can't play SEC. That's a fair opinion. Players will be just fine taking a 10 to 15% pay cut, make their life easier. BBN can be critical without being toxic. Exactly. That's why, I want you guys to say what you need to say. It's all truth. But we don't have to be toxic. Jelly definitely needs more playing time, Travis. He's one of my favorites. I hate that we don't have Cam. I really, really do. I hate that we don't have Cam because Cam was really turning around. Kentucky fans are a tipping point of pure apathy right now. It has to improve. Fact, Jake, it does. And if the fans turn on the players, what makes future players want to come here? You either stick behind the team, good or bad, or you don't. But if you don't, and you show yourselves to be just unsavory, why would a player want to come here? You have to be true, loyal fans. We've got some of these games in Rep Arena. BBN shows out, becomes the sixth man. We can win some of these games. David, I believe Thursday night, he might have another one. Big Mike, when is your next call-in show? Body language said it all last night. Yes, Danny, that's what I'm saying. You either come out there and you play and you get onto it or you don't. You either get into the game and you fight or you don't. But the ones that are not fighting need to be sitting down. Sit. I'm glad our bench shrunk. But there's coming a time where we're going to need some of those guys. You don't blame the players, it's the coaching. Dougie, the coach isn't the one out. I get what you're saying. I really do. But he can draw up plays, but if the players don't execute them on the floor, that's not Poe. If the players don't care and the players don't do anything, that's not Poe. Pete, do you think we need to go after him if the rules favor some? Yes. Yes. And you're right, Ronald. We have no recruits. Peanut, you're hilarious. You are hilarious. Um, Randy Chris, good to see you. Congratulations. I knew your guards left a lot to be desired and your post got pushed around, but that was extremely glaring. It was. Randy Chris, you're not, and it was. Mike, someone was asking if you were having a call-in show. So I didn't know if you wanted to do one tomorrow night or since we're doing this tonight, or if maybe you want to do it like over the weekend or something. And if you'd like for me to join, I will. So that would be up to you. Um, no effort cannot be supported. Well, I'm still gonna support the team, win or lose, and just hope for more wins. Next game up, just play with effort. Act like you want to win. At least act like you want to win if you don't. If it's all about money and um if it's all about you, then you probably shouldn't have come to Kentucky. The players can't run Pope's offense, low IQ. Like I said, Pope can draw up the play, but if the players aren't executing it, that's question. Why is the coaching staff just sitting there fighting for the players? I never see a staff that cares. This staff is different, guys. It's not as emotional as some of the staffs we've seen. It's different. It's just different. Pope absolutely needs to bench them when they aren't playing to full potential. Maybe they'll try harder next time. Sandy, that's what I'm talking about. Like um when he benched Garrison. Garrison came back and actually played well. We still could get Stokes, but all transfers will be there next year. I'm agreeing with that. Stokes, I don't know where it's going with that, but um we do have players on the team that probably, I mean, I don't know. I'm a lineman working in Nashville for the Storm and almost got tickets. Glad I didn't. John, I feel you. I feel you. I honestly, I'll tell you, I turned it off. Like I said, I turned it off. Players don't respect Pope. If you can't figure out how to keep your team from losing the first 5 minutes of games, you can't be a coach. George, that's fair. I'm sick and tired of seeing us not play the first 10 minutes, 20 minutes of a game. Thing or two about bad coaching, no matter how much other coaches talked about the play designs of Jerry Stackhouse, but he couldn't get the players to do it. That's what I'm saying. We are not consistent. We are not consistent. We should have slowed that game down. We should not have tried to run their pace. We tried to play their game. We can't play their game. We have to play our game. And we can't try to run and keep up with people like that. Jimmy is correct. Stokes will not decide till June or July, and we'll definitely have recruiting news on the recruiting shows when that comes around. Pope just isn't it. He reminds me of Jerry Stackhouse with his game decisions. I don't know where you go from here. I'm agreeing. I agree. I don't. He does remind me of Jerry Stackhouse. Um, some of the play calls are questionable. My biggest problem with Pope that I keep saying over and over is stop putting a guy in for a minute and a half and then taking him out. How are they supposed to get warmed up and get the feel of the game and get into the groove if you take them out? 502 Creation says, we will be fine. It might take till 27. Not every coach has a winning year his first couple years. If it takes us till 27 to win number 9, then we do. We definitely, I mean, if that's what it takes, if that's what's meant to be, then we'll just keep every year looking forward to number 9. Jimmy, thanks for being here. I will give you a call as soon as it's over. Thanks for being here. Appreciate you. Still not Pope shooting the ball or causing the turnovers. Exactly. Pope's not the one missing easy layups. Easy. Like bunnies. How many bunnies did we miss? I don't understand where their head goes and where their focus goes when they get there. I do not understand it. Way to go, guys. 33 likes. Let's see if we can get it to 40. Please, 7 more. There's 53 of you watching. Let's get 7 more likes, please. I want to get 40 likes. I would say 35. That's what we lost by last night, but no, I'm going to go with 40. 40. Because this is your therapy session. Let it out, BBN. Let me know what you're thinking. That's what this show is all about tonight. It's about frustration. It's about disappointment. It's about what needs to change. It's about getting our hopes up for 5 game winning streak. To have it turn out like this. Hopefully this is just one. Vanderbilt had 3 losses and then they won. I'm hoping this is just one loss. I'm really hoping that this is one and then we can turn it around. Somebody's got to step in and take Cam Williams' place. I'm really not sure. Jelly's doing a great job, y'all. But Ortega can't do it by himself. He is the leader and he takes this team on his shoulders, but he can't do it himself. One player cannot win the game every game. It's not going to happen. We're going to lose to Arkansas if we make the tournament. We were 12th or lower seeds. That's possible, man. That's possible. I mean, at this point, I would just like to make the tournament. The other team was just better. The other team was so much better, BC. So much better. You can't blame the coach. We did not play to our best ability. Vandy is too much like Alabama. I'm worried that that's gonna cause an issue. And exactly, KSR reported we shot 4 for 13 on layups. How are we missing layups? There's just something that has discombobulated and disconnected. It seems like from the 5-game winning streak, something was losing Cam, the disconnect. Was he what was keeping us in this with some of his plays? Travis, exactly. It's okay to vent for our cats. Just don't love the losses, but we always love and cheer for our cats. Exactly. Exactly. And I've been saying it's not Pope's fault. He's not the one playing. Your teacher can show you how to color in the lines, but if you don't, that's on you. Chris, it's better you than me live on here, Lee, because I wouldn't be able to censor my anger over that game. Look, Chris, I am mindful of the fact that there are people that just don't need to hear some of that. We were. We we suck. That's probably the worst word you hear me say on here. We did not play well. We literally did not play. We got beat in every aspect of that game. Rebounds, offensive rebounds, free throws, steals, assists, threes made, especially. Like we were beat in every single aspect of the game. We cannot have that. As the Big Blue Nation, we come to expect more. We just need to find the guys that want to play up to the standards that we expect. Is it fair to say that NIL has leveled the field and UK just doesn't have the advantages they once had, same as Alabama in football? Yes, I will 100% agree with that, Vandy, Chris. The NIL has definitely hurt us. We used to get the great recruits. We used to get, be the feared team. But I think the NIL, with everybody going, okay, I'm going to the highest bidder, I think that has really, really hurt Kentucky because the guys are more mindset on the money, I believe. I believe it plays a much bigger role than it used to. It's Dougie. He is coaching. But if a coach tells you, take this ball, go here, and throw it down here and get this guy open and give him the ball. It's get down there and you don't do what he said. Is that Pope's fault? If Pope tells you what to do and you don't do what he said, is it Pope's fault that you don't do what he said? It's hard to beat a good defensive team with 2 scores on the court. Exactly, BC. You can't. You cannot beat a team when you've only got 2 guys that are shooters on a team. That touch money thing, I think, was stupid. I think it was a bad look. I really do. Pope doesn't connect with this generation. Not one top recruit, but Dukes keep getting lottery picks. NIL, I think it has really screwed it. Chris says we got our kicked all the way around the floor and passing side. Yeah. 42 likes, guys. Thank you. Let's keep going if we can. We got 55 people. Let's keep going if we can. But guys, I will always be here for you guys to say what you want and express your opinions and your feelings. That's just the way I am. Did I have to do a show tonight? No. Was I feeling like ugh, after last night? Yes. But I'm here for you guys. At the Loyal BB and Fan Show, we really care about what y'all have to say and what you think. So I told Mike, I said, I'm doing a show tonight because I want everybody to have a space where they can go and vent, like totally vent. If you watch the press conference, it's pretty obvious the players think Pope is lame. Vandy Chris said it's the coach. If he can't do what he needs them to do, it's a coaching problem. I don't know why they don't respect him. If they don't take him seriously, then it's an issue when they're out on the floor. Pope needs to go get Mo to start practicing trick shots. Maybe he'll be able to make a shot over the backboard. Steve, wouldn't that be cool to see? JMI destroyed recruiting. It did. JMI has hurt our recruiting because as soon as JMI decided what they were going to do and that they were stepping in, our recruiting has faded off. Like guys don't seem that interested or they're going someplace else. Or, the crystal ball is showing that, we're not in the running anymore. I think JMI is going to be a big issue. Thank you so much, Mitch Barnhart. Until we get rid of them, until the contract with JMI is over, I think it's going to be a problem. You beat a good defensive team with team play, ball movement, not dribbling. Exactly. Like I said, why was Aberdeen dribbling into a bunch of people? He's not the only one. He was not the only one dribbling into a bunch of people. Jasper Johnson did it himself. Like, you can't do that. The money matters, but Mark Pope has not been a great recruiter, not yet. NIL was an issue at the beginning of the year. 22 million. Exactly. We had the money, but BC, I agree with you. I don't think Mark Pope is is a great recruiter. I think something needs to change. We need a good GM. Um, we definitely need to hit hot open shots, especially layups. We can't be missing layups. That is just the most ridiculous thing I have seen. How many layups? Like 4 of 13. 4 of 13, guys. You can't make 4 of 13 layups and expect to win a game. The other 9 would have been 18 points, would have been closer. Free throws. When in the world are we going to start hitting free throws? Like, I'm telling you, every player needs to practice 500 to 1,000 free throws every practice and not leave until they're done. This is getting ridiculous. When we don't get to the line as much as the other teams, and when we do get to the line, we're not making them. I think, Peanut, you're right. I think we need to recruit veteran players out of the portal. I don't think we need to take any freshmen. I think we need guys that are old school ball players. I know they're out there. I just don't think we need 3 freshmen on the team anymore. That's my opinion. We have to give him time. He's got 3 years after this year. BC, yes, I will agree with you. And I said it may be 2027 before we win number 9. But every coach doesn't have bang up years every single year. The first 3 years they come in, you got to give them time to start getting with it and get with the program and um get into it. I think eventually things will turn around, but you can't expect to. Did we all want to win number 9? Yes. Did we really expect a coach to win it in his first year here? No, not really. Not really. You can't be stingy with the ball. You have to play as a team and stop trying to be exactly. When Noah's open on the outside and you don't throw it to him and you try to go in and take it yourself and you lose the ball, bad choice. What happened to guys go into the basket plant there for dunks? I know. We got bigs. They are very, very capable of dunking. It's not happening. Hope needs to get shooters and point guards and a couple of bigs transfer portal. Yes, I think out of the portal. I do not think we need most of the freshmen that we've been getting. We don't need a team full of freshmen anymore. We need guys that have that are veterans, that have experience. Because obviously there's a communication breakdown somewhere between the coach and the plays or the players and the plays or whatever's going on. Dorman, we still have a lot of games left. I think that could change. Um, so I'm hoping that it turns around. Vandy Chris says you brought in veteran Jalen Lowe. The problem is he isn't a good defender. Being a scorer doesn't make you a good player or leader. That's true. He's also injured, so we don't even really have him. We really don't even have him. Like, we have to take him out of the equation. I don't think he played enough, and not playing the first 9 games or whatever will really cause an issue. And I don't think he played enough to really get back into it. BC, if they're good, but and I agree with you there. But you also have to look at what the player can turn into. Like, how far can they go? How good are they? How much do they fit in with the program? Because just because a guy's good when you see him playing, AU ball or any of that other stuff, that doesn't mean they're going to play like that when they come. I do want guys like we had in 2012. That would be amazing to have those guys back or guys like that. I just think that for some reason those kind of guys aren't looking at us right now. Is it JMI? Is it NIL? What's the reason that guys like that aren't really looking at Kentucky right now? Although we do have a lot of time before the recruiting starts, there I don't think the interest has been there. I never said Pope can't coach. I just think that it's a two-way street. You've got the coach and you've got the players. And if there's a disconnect there, that needs to be remedied because the players aren't always executing what Pope is drawing up. So is there some kind of communication breakdown? They fired Kirby Smith for less and he won a championship. This is not the standard of Kentucky. Agreed. Yes, BC, you always go by what they do in high school. But how many times have we seen I'm not saying I'm against freshmen if they're good. If they're good, take them. But I guess what I'm trying to say is you have to make sure they're consistent and that they can learn your style of ball. And they're not going to play me ball because a lot of them get it in their heads and they want to play me ball. Dougie, yes, we need a player like Butler to give a spark on the defensive. Yes. I left a comment on Big Knight's video. This team has no production from a single big against better teams. Moreno and Jelly, nothing last night. You know, Jelly has actually been coming around. Like I said, I love Jelly, and I think he's been doing better. Brian, he did make some good plays. I think he's a little bit better defensive player than some of the other guys on the team, and I'm gonna say he's better defensively than Noah is. Um, I just think that I just think there's a disconnect between the coach and the players somewhere. Pope will be fine next year. I'm really hoping that everything turns out. We turn this year around and we start getting some more wins. I do I think it's going to happen overnight? No. Do I think that I expected Pope to win the number 9 in his first I honestly didn't expect him to win number 9 in his first 4 years. I felt like that was realistic. So maybe I'm right. Maybe within the next few years we'll get it. You know, Jelly needs more minutes. Jelly needs more minutes. I will I will say I got the hiccups, y'all. David, that's Yelovich. I call him Jelly. So that it's Yelovich. It's Andrea Yelovich, number 4. I call him Jelly. We've got pampered semi-pros, too much who don't care. Possibly. Jelly needs more minutes to stop taking him out. That's saying, how do you get a guy in the game for a minute and a half and then take him out? Or you get them in and they're actually doing some good defensive plays. And you take them out and you put somebody else in that, creates, loses the ball twice, tries to keep dribbling too much. We dribble the ball way too much. Way too much. Keep the ball up out of the way or they're going to get it. When you go for a rebound, keep the ball up or they're going to knock it away. How many times did we see them just go like that and knock the ball out of the hands? I agree with you, Kelly. It did look like a lot of me ball. It was a lot of me ball last night. Um, I really do. And I don't think anybody's worse than Big Z. Sorry, but I really don't. Mo played his butt off last night, hustled the entire game, but Mo simply can't shoot. Exactly, but you can't like, we need the players to be more rounded. We need them to be able to do both. So if that's something he needs to work on, then he needs to work on it. If he needs to um go to the basket, work on it. That's really, really important. You need to work on the problems that you have. If you're lacking in something, work on that. Dribbling way too much is a selfish team. That's all we've been doing. We've been saying for games and games, we dribble too much. You dribble right into three other guys. You think you're going to keep that ball? You think you're going to get to make a shot? No. Stop dribbling. And you sit there and you either take a shot that's too quick, a three. You come down the floor and you shoot a three. You had the full shot clock. But or you'll sit there and you'll dribble forever, run the shot clock down, and then nothing. Nothing. We couldn't throw the ball onto the ocean standing on the beach. No, we couldn't. They don't even celebrate together. When somebody makes a good play, it's always one guy patting himself on the back. You know, it does. You're exactly right, BC. It does turn into me ball when others can't create their own shots. Somebody's got to step up and be like, okay, if you're not going to be open. But I just hate seeing guys open and being passed up. It seems kind of selfish. Like Noah was open a few times, wanting the ball on the outside, but the ball was dribbled into three guys from Vanderbilt instead of being thrown inside out while the other team's being drawn in. It would have left a perfect shot. And I'm going to say it. If I have said it once, I've said it 1,000 times. Some of these guys need to catch and shoot and not sit there and dribble the ball and not sit there and take too long. As soon as that ball hits their hands, release that ball. Noah can make them like that. Chandler can make them like that. Moreno's made them like that. Ortega makes his like that. It needs to change. Brian says Pope needs to get players that fit his system. Exactly. Calipari's going 2-0 against his old team. They're athletic. Our bigs are slow. Pope put in Hawthorne better than Noah. It's Hawthorne more athletic. More athletic. Well, and it might come down to us having to use Hawthorne. It might come down to that. Because who else do we have? Nobody. Everybody's hurt. 8 guys this year. 4 last year, 8 guys this year. 2/3 of our team has been injured this year. 2/3. Angel, what's up? Good to see you. Play like a team, not like individual superstars. Exactly. There's been a disconnect on this team. That's why we've had trouble having an identity. We didn't when Mark Pope said we didn't have an identity. We didn't have an identity because they won't gel. Oops, sorry. I just hit my dog in the face with my elbow, y'all. There's got to come a point where the guys wake up and say, look, it's not working the way we're doing it. It needs to change. Is Pope's system going to win Kentucky a national championship? Not this year, BC, in my opinion. In the next couple of years, I believe it possibly could. It depends on recruiting. It depends on what it depends on recruiting. It depends on the guys that he gets there. If we get guys to actually buy into Pope's system. I don't feel like every guy on this team has bought into it this year. What does it hurt to use Hawthorne if we don't even know if he'll be here next year? Kentucky will beat Arkansas Saturday. You heard it here first. Every time the fans predict the team will get blown out, they win. Remember Knoxville this year? Everyone predicted a loss. Fact. I think they can BC if they would listen to Pope and play team ball. Yes, but if they don't, it's not going to happen. Everybody needs to play together. Stop dribbling so much. Mo plays hard. Mo gets in there and plays. These guys need to realize their careers are on the line. Yeah, I don't know that that's even. We have to give Pope time. 3 teams in the SEC have won the Natty. It's hard with the exception of BBN. Exactly. So actually, that is something to be very proud of. And it's another reason to be proud of the Wildcats and not turn your back on them. Got to share the ball when the ball isn't going in. Fact. Look how good BYU is now. That's all I need to say. Brian, I believe it too. We're the funky kind of team Cal always has trouble with. More than funky, Peanut. Dude, that's quick. But I'm telling you guys, I wanted to be here. I wanted to give you guys a chance to express your opinions, let out some frustration, and be real. Like nothing we have said is trying to hurt the guys in any way. We're not trying to pick on them. We're just speaking truth. We're speaking facts and we're speaking our own opinions. So I just want to tell you guys, I love each and every one of you. I appreciate y'all for being here tonight. I hope that this has helped. Some of you guys like get it out because I know you were sitting at home yelling at the TV. Half of you probably turned it off just like I did. Think there was 10 minutes left and I was like, I'm done. Like I just didn't see it happening. So I love you guys. Big Mike will let you know when he's doing a call-in show. Maybe it's tomorrow night. Maybe it'll be in one of the nights, like Friday or something, since there's a game on Saturday. There will be a pregame on Saturday at 5:30 p.m. Eastern Time, 4:30 Central, before we take on Arkansas. So, with that being said, I love you guys. Please click the like and subscribe if you haven't already. I will see you guys on the next show, which will be the pregame, unless I'm on Mike's call-in show with him. We love you. Thank you for being here for the Loyal BB and Fan Show. Shout out to Jimmy, BC, and Big Mike. Um, love you guys. Until next time, go Cats.